Slurpty Dirt, my G's. And again, a massive thank you to my patron supporter, Mark Kober, for supplying these amazing artificial music logo label socks, which are just absolutely dope. I really want to wear them, but at the same time, they just look so great on the microphone. And it's a new thing that we're starting, okay? Microphone socks. They're not available to buy, but maybe they will be. I don't know. I don't really have the time to organise that yet. Anyway, I wanted to give a little tip or just talk for a few minutes about, what was it again? Workflow, catching a vibe, and writing the best tracks without friction. So if you guys have watched my live streams, I don't really notice it, but a lot of people have said that they like to watch my workflow and that I move quite quickly. And yeah, I suppose that I do. And that's why, I'm always like bouncing stuff to audio, resampling it, moving on. And I'm always trying to progress the track sort of as quickly and without any interruptions and just keep it moving forward as much as I can. And yeah, as I've got better at producing, it's become easier to do that. But with time, I've basically refined my my workflow so that it is faster. Yeah. So what you want to do is find ways in which you can make your workflow better and quicker. And the reason why it's so important for me to have it fast is because it's almost like I'm playing catch up with like an idea in my head that suddenly strikes while I'm in the creative process. So yeah, I might be producing a track, and then if you're really like in that kind of flow state where you're really feeling inspired and you've got a lot of ideas. If you don't know how to get into that flow state, that's a separate video. But there's no real like one fix it trick to get into that creative state. Obviously, like if your mind is in a healthy and productive state, then it's obviously going to become a lot easier. If you're not hungover, you're not intoxicated. I guess people argue if they're intoxicated they come up with better ideas. I think it's not true. But I'll hear that in the comments below that people like to smoke and have better ideas. But yeah, I don't believe her. Anyway, joking aside, obviously, like if your mind is in a healthier space and it's like functioning the best it can, you've slept well, you're not glued to your phone like so much, or you're not like scrolling on social media and stuff, because that kind of like drains your like creativity quite quickly. So if you're just feeling like your mind is operating really, really well, then you can like begin to get into that kind of flow state where the creative juices are just really flowing naturally, without any aid of anything else. So if provided you're doing that, or whichever way you've got into this kind of flow state, then having a super, super fast and slick workflow that involves you always going forward, pushing the sound forward, getting closer to that goal of what's in your mind, having that smoother and quicker workflow is going to enable you to like keep up with your idea, so you can like catch the vibe and like produce in line with it. So that's why I like doing the live streams on YouTube. I actually do quite well on them because of the sort of pressure that's involved. Like when you guys are watching and I feel like I have to show off a bit, I feel like I have to make it, at least good, so you don't just switch off the video and think this is a terrible song that you're making, I'm not interested. So I feel like the bit of pressure. So obviously pressure makes diamonds as well. So that pressure also helps. But the idea is that I'm like trying to work pretty quickly to get from point A to point B. And all the best songs that I've written, I did like a remix recently for like a metal group that's not out yet, but it will be out like in a couple of months or so. It's sick. It's like a breakbeat track. That, and also Grey, which is like my first ever song that got played on BBC. That was written super quick, that one. basically it doesn't always happen, because like I get stuck sometimes also for like a couple of months where I've got some songs on the go, but none of them are like making me like, want to jump out of my seat with excitement because I'm onto a really good idea. Those ideas like happen, but like they're not like, I'm not like always having those absolute like, oh, this is going to be an absolute classic hit moments, So like, but when you do have that moment, you want to act fast. You want to be quick with it. So like I said, with Grey and also with this other remix I recently did, I had the inspiration I just knew how the song was going to be. I just was like, yeah, this is sick. I was loving the idea right from the beginning. And so when that happens, I really like capitalize on that, and I'll sack off everything else that I've got going on, like all my other sort of priorities on my to-do list, because I have like a lot, because I'm running like so many things at once, like it's mental. But basically, if the music always comes first, aside from my students, they come first. But when I'm not directly teaching someone, then producing my own music will come next, like if I've got a sick idea. So if I'm working on a track and I've got like a really, really cool idea for one, I want to like tap into that flow state and keep up the momentum of my creativity and catch that vibe and keep riding it, like stay with it while it's like fresh, and then like finish the track as like not like as quickly as I can, like in a sense that I'm like skipping over important details, but luckily, or I say luckily, from my experience, of producing for 10 or 11 years, I know obviously all the beginner mistakes like the back of my hand, so I'm not making there's no beginner mistakes going on in any of my process. So like I know all the things not to do, and if you are still unsure about that and you haven't had a one-on-one session with me, then please feel free to book one, and I can eliminate some of those myths for you. But more importantly, when you like really, really catch that vibe for a song, you want to just stick with it and move forward with it, and like try to keep up that momentum and like get it finished while you're on to a winner. Yeah. But you won't be able to do that unless your workflow is super, super slick. So you can adapt your workflow. You can change your workflow however you want. I think one of the biggest problems with music producers is they just get stuck in their ways. And I'm the same. I'm kind of like stuck in my ways now with Logic, but I feel like I've got a reason to be stuck in my way with Logic, because I'm able to actually get the results that I want. So I get my form of success already, and have done for many years, with the output that I have for my music. So when people suggest new plugins to me, I'm not really interested. When people like suggest other doors to me, I'm definitely not interested, because I've already like reached a like real optimum point in my workflow where I know what I'm doing. I've got the whole kind of concept of what a mixdown should be, what the rules are, and sound design has no limits really. I can use any sound however I want, and I can use a synth like Vital or Phase Plant and create a new sound every time. I never feel like if I've made a patch and then I bounce it out, I'm never scared to like just lose the old patch, because I feel like I can always make a new, better sound, because I've developed my skills with synthesis and sound design for so long. I feel like every time I come at like a new sound that I need, I'll just make a better one than the last one, like always. So I never worry about keeping my old MIDI like as a separate frozen or muted track. I'll just delete them all. I'll just delete everything and just keep pushing forward, so that my workflow is as fast and as forward thinking as possible. And yeah, I just don't look back. That's my golden tip from this video, really, is just to absolutely make those decisions and cuts in your mix and just move forward. And you won't always make the right move, but you will keep up the momentum, which is more important. especially when you're onto a good idea, you want to keep your workflow really, really fast so that you can, keep like sort of catch up, be playing catch up with like the ideas going on in your head. And so you want to just like roll through it. But obviously, the actual idea in your head is never gonna be the same as what you actually come out with. But you've got to be okay with that. And the important thing is that you let the workflow like sort of run through you in a way. You've got to let it sort of just pass. It's like the ideas are up here, and then you're like processing it in your own way, and then you're like putting it onto your door. But it won't be the same as what the idea was, but it kind of goes through your own personal filter of what you're doing. Yeah. But you don't want any blocks to be in that filter. So you've got to make sure that you're okay with your final result not being what the idea is that you started with. You've got to be okay with it being a bit different. But the important thing is to like let the process happen like through you as smoothly and quickly and unfiltered as possible, so that you're keeping up the momentum and the fun aspect of making the song, because people will feel that you've had fun making it. So you've got to make it fun. Yeah. So hopefully that was a helpful video for you guys. Thanks again for watching. If you'd like to support me, as always, you can jump over to Patreon. It's a little bit more expensive now to join the Discord. It's up to €10 per person, but we're going really more in depth with each person in the Discord now. We're doing group classes, started doing some little kind of mastering classes as well, and we'll do some other group classes depending on what the people in the Discord want. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. We've got a really great, strong inner circle community, so really, really proud of that. And there's space for a few more if you guys want to join. And if not, no worries. I'm still gonna always be teaching on YouTube as well, because I love spreading my information that I've got. And yeah, hopefully it'll help some of you guys out. And also, one more thing I can add is give your nan a quick text now. Tell her you love her, because she deserves it. Peace out.